And through the start chicane goes Dai Yoshihara. Forsberg gonna drop into formation. Let's see how this turn 14 distribution. Falcon Tires, BRZ does. Initiates. Forsberg on the door, about a car length between. Now gaining some ground. Big angle from Dai Yoshihara. Forsberg keeping good proximity. Great transition from Dai Yoshihara past that first front clip, that Black Magic Intense front clip. Forsberg just tucking in into formation now through the center portion of the track. There is the smoke signal. That's where it's going to come into play as Forsberg knocks out that final front clip. And that's just another testimonial to just how high caliber these drivers are and how aggressive everybody is putting it out there. Here we go, Forsberg out front, Dai Yoshihara, boom, right there. See Forsberg turn on the smoke screen. Dai Yoshihara, great mimicking of the angle. Look at Dai Yoshihara, the baby blue shadow mirroring Chris Forsberg into that second outer zone. Goes both the drivers. Now coming to that second front clip, the Black Magic Intense tire clip, just getting nudged out of the way by the 370Z nose. Around that final clip goes Forsberg and Yoshihara. Chris Forsberg, Dai Yoshihara, slide him left for Forsberg, right for Dai Yoshihara.
All 8 of the by-run drivers wanted to do it, and so we move forward with that, and now it's looking like it may bite Peter.
All right, so right now it's Odi Bakshi's, Robin Nishida on track. Odi Bakshi's out front, that Falcon Tires, S14, nice job there. That Jerry Yang Achilles radial GTR there of Robin Nishida, the Bushido blade. Looks like he's getting that thing really working out, but is it enough to take down a very proven S chassis of Odi Bakshi's? He's got a lot of seat time as Nishida overshoots that final clip, and Odi, that Falcon Tires S chassis, chasing him down. See how Robbie initiates, see if he can get an advancement here. Nice job. Robbie initiates. Odi Bakshi's getting to the door of Robbie's Achilles radial vehicle. Good transition from both the guys. Robbie pouring it on, really hammering down, but cannot shake Odi Bakshi's. Odi, he really needs to apply the pressure because he does have, you know, as the judges said, they deemed fault to Nishida. Slide him left for Nishida, slide him right for Odi, and Robbie Nishida gets the win and advances on. This is a buy run from Frederick Osbo, Norwegian Hammer, Rockstar Energy Drink, Nexen Tires, Toyota Racing, Toyota Corolla IM. Here comes Frederick Osbo, who will advance on to the top 16. So this is when it plays out properly. Unfortunately for Peter, he wanted, you know, a go at this course in these ideal conditions. It's dry, there's no more wet, you know, the sun is out. This is, again, as you said, Ryan, true to form from what the drivers saw from yesterday even to earlier today. So Frederick Osbo rips through the course. That means he advances on to the top 16. So Hamilton and Essa, these guys have not seen competition against each other. Essa Autosports Achilles radial of Michael Essa chasing him down. All right, here we go. Hamilton initiates. Mike Essa in tow, now into that outer zone. Sector 1, Sector 2, here he comes. Hamilton, great composure. Past the first front clip. Into the second. Here goes Hamilton and Essa. Hamilton not getting all the way out there. And Essa some wavering there in the chase position. Now approaching that final front clip for Hamilton and Essa. A full pull for both of them. Snap some shots, get some content. Here we go. Michael Essa, Nate Hamilton. Essa initiating. Wow, really tight to that wall. Already out of the gate, taps it. Shreds that back bumper once, twice. 3 times in Essa, look at that. Nate Hamilton getting tight. Wow, Michael, what is that? Oh, the tire is off. There is no tire on that back right wheel. Michael Essa continues through the course, looking like a rally car, doing everything necessary.
The fans are
going bonkers here in Montreal. At Frederick Osbo, who's moving on. Nate Hamilton advances on Little Tex, painting him up some sweet new. He's got a new lid, got a Speed Racer helmet, and got a pizza steering wheel. Say how to get rowdy, Chelsea Denofa. Solo buy run here for him. Lights up the Nitto tires. Good opportunity for him to see what the track looks like. Some clean air, nobody chasing him. Shaking down the car. And Chelsea Denofa with that bye run. Paradise, S14 going against Kyle Mohan. He wants to send a shout out to his grandma, as she's always been a big part of his program. So as she's not 100% right now. So Kyle Mohan, he's chasing him down. Chasing down Mark Landerville. A lot of smoke. Holy cow. My goodness. Look at all the smoke as Mohan in the drop top rotary MX5. Landerville, excuse me, very familiar with this course. He's seen some success here quite a bit. Man, there is. And clear to send. Here we go. Send it. Kyle Mohan, Landerville. Second half of this battle. Some widely exposed necks and tires up front as Landerville, very comfortable, but then has to shore up, loses some ground and goes on the inside. Mohan standing on the throttle. Look at that. Great job by Mohan out front. Working it to that second outer zone. Ryan, it seems that Kyle did the opposite of what Landerville did. He really filled that outer zone. And now Landerville falling back quite a bit. So Landerville on the struggle bus there.
Well, it looks like Landerville probably had the better of the chase.
Both of them. Slide him left for Mohan, slide him right for Landerville. And it looks like Andy says Landerville, Brian and Ryan say one more time. They're going at it again. So it's a one more time. Landerville out front, Kyle Mohan giving chase. All right, so the local driver, Mark Landerville, Canada versus USA, rotary versus piston. Landerville into that first outer zone. Doesn't get all the way out there. I'm kind of surprised. He knows his track very well. Great angle. Really exciting. Just hammering down. Liking the style as far as the placement. Again, just a quick hit it and quit. It doesn't stay consistently out there on that second outer zone, nor the first, as really pulling away from Mohan. Oh, and Mohan! That is not the direction you want to go. Man, Mohan. Top 32, even with the delay, we should be back on schedule. Knock on something here. As Kyle Mohan will lead. Landerville giving chase. This is the one more time battle. Are we going to have a victor? Here we go. Landerville gaining some ground. Mohan nice and deep on that outer zone for the MX5. Transitions past the front clip. Landerville with an early transition. Like what Mohan's doing here. Really deep on that second outer zone. Could have been tighter to that front clip. Some line deduction there as Landerville knocks it over. Mohan right for Landerville, and Mark Landerville gets the win. What's either going to help him or hurt him is that first and second sector making up that outer zone. All right, so see the angle there. Wow, see, look at this thing, just power on deck. Mass Motorsports V8 under the hood, providing the power. Achilles radial, providing the smoke, the grip, and the slip. Look at that, just dancing with the track edge. Wow, it's a bye run. Chill out, bro. They're homies. They've been traveling this year. They've teamed up. They're essentially teammates. All right, here we go. Matt Kaufman, Alec Honadell. This is going to be a fun one to watch. Here we go. Kaufman initiating that Ford V8 S13 Honadell. Oh boy, dancing with the devil here. Oh, Honadell saying what's up. What's up, dude? Past that first front clip. Oh boy, Honadell getting phased. Kaufman, big angle there into that second front clip. Honadell now gaining some ground. Tucked in, going off muscle memory. Big, massive angle there. And Honadell goes off course, but it looked like it was after the finish line. And that's the last 10 seconds. That's going to be all she wrote for the Honadell team. You see tires drop, Honadell out of the car. They're friends off track, but when it comes to a competition, no holds barred. But unfortunately, Honadell could not fix his vehicle, so that means with Kaufman turning and burning here in this run, that means Matt Kaufman, World War Kaufman, advances on the 959 Ford-powered S chassis from the Pacific Northwest. will advance on from Medford, Oregon into the top 16. So Kaufman will advance on. He's going to be going against Christoph Bluch. That should be an exciting one to watch. I just really like when Kaufman is on. He's just really fun to watch. It seems like he's having fun, and he just... All right, so here we go. Matt Field, his bye run, the Falcon Tires, Drift Cave, S14.5. And again, this is a bye run, so... having his way with the course, the Beast from the Bay will advance on. Dodge Viper team, Dean Carney, Jeff Jones. These guys, wow, I'm surprised. These guys have never seen battle against each other. Supercharged V8, here we go. Dean Carney out front. Jeff Jones needs to allow Dean to get out front. Initiating goes Dean Jones. Tucked in right there, great smoke. Good angle from Dean. Using the whole course. And Jeff Jones hang in there. Dean almost getting out there. Jeff Jones, oh, looks like he's making his way off course, knocks over the cone. Other than creating a gap between him and Dean, wasn't. And away they go. Jones, Doc X, hand-cooked tires, S14. See what kind of strategy Dean plays here. Looks like he's potentially giving him too much room as Jones. Doing exactly what he needs to do. Great angle from Jones. Bring the outer zone, quickly hits it and quits it. Into that second front clip, middle portion of the track. One more front clip to go. Jones does a nice job, just barely kisses it and knocks it over. Slide him left for Jones, slide him right for Carney. And Dean Carney gets the victory. So we'll revisit this as we're seeing JTP. So Justin Pollock, he qualified third yesterday, so that gives him a spot where he doesn't have to run in 32, gets a bye run, but knowing Justin Pollock, he's gonna hang it out there. He's really gonna see how the track feels, and right now it's looking like he's very comfortable. This Roush Performance, Ford Performance Mustang. Could see some wavering there, but I think just testing the boundaries, testing the limits of the Falcon tires and of the vehicle. Really known for the snappy transitions. Sometimes it pays off, sometimes it does not.
He clicks 100% in that vehicle. It's going to be a rough day for anybody that goes up against him. And
sure, from yesterday to practice to today, they've definitely modified the car. So here we go. Let's see how wacky and wild it gets on the three-wheel motion here. Von Gittin Jr.'s car, you could see it ready for liftoff, hunt down Jonathan Castro. Great job by Castro up front, and Von Gittin Jr. in tow. Past that first front clip goes Castro, now transitioning into the second outer zone. Castro could see it nice and settled, really low. You see Von Gittin Jr.'s car just bouncing around there. Very loose setup in comparison. You could really just see the difference of these vehicles. I mean, two very different schools of thought. Castro with just an unbelievable run against James Dean earlier this year, so he's not phased when push comes to shove. And talking about shoving, Castro knocking on the door of the Ford Mustang of Von Gittin Jr. has to back off. Von Gittin Jr. staying out long and strong on that outer zone. Look at that front left wheel lifting. You could tuck that GT86 underneath, but Castro, a lot of rubber exchange there. And that didn't look just like a love tap. That was a hate tap, letting his presence felt. Slide him left for Von Gittin Jr., slide him right for Castro, and Von Gittin Jr. to be dialed. He's ready to go, had ample time, but isn't enough, you know, at practice. He will have a bye run here and advances on to the top 16. He goes against the winner of our next and final battle of the top 32. And the 2JZ Power looks like it's back up to snuff. Whoa! And just as I say that, stands on it. Wow, it just looked cool, if it's any consolation. The fans erupting into applause here as Ryan Turk wraps around the final clip. So Gucci has had a series of bad luck. Again, opening ceremonies at 8 o'clock, so just under 2 hours. But again, we still have this battle. Ken Gushi, Pat Gooden. Pat Gooden has the proximity, not mimicking the angle, but now Ken Gushi pouring some more angle, more smoke off those necks and tires. Past the first front clip, and the judges stand as they peer down at the second outer zone. Pat Gooden struggling to get to that outer zone. And Gushi out front, just clean run, overshooting the final clip. Pat Gooden will lead. Ken Gushi giving chase. The gum out. Black Magic Intense, hand-cooked tires, S13. Pennzoil on the front bumper. Here comes Goosh, Boost Brigade, Gretty Performance, necks and tires. Toyota Racing GT86. Some wavering there from Gushi in that chase position. Interesting approach here from both the guys. Now Gushi gaining ground, getting close to Gooden. Nice job by Gooden out front. Nice aggressive flick by Pat out front. And Andy says Ken Gushi, Brian and Ryan say one more time, and one more time. They are going at it again. And here comes Gushi. Gushi and Gooden. Ken Gushi initiating, nice job. Pat Gooden, you can see him wavering, gaining some ground. Now Ken leaving it, sticking it to the wall. Good flick and transition past the first front clip. Ken Gushi not all the way out to that white line, but Pat Gooden not in frame. Ken Gushi ripping across the center portion. Pat Gooden dipping a hand-cooked tire in the dirt, going off track a little bit there. Their way into the pit area, meeting and greeting their favorite drivers, teams, and seeing the cars. Here we go, Pat Gooden, Ken Gushi. Second half of this battle. Pat Gooden, oh, look at Goosh. Riding easy into the door, getting close. Let's see the transition here. Nice job by Pat. A little off of it, but aggressive driving. Gets out to the outer zone. Pretty similar line to Gushi in his lead run. Nice execution on that second to last front clip. And around that final clipping zone or clipping point for Gooden, right for Gushi. And Ken Gushi, the OG, gets the win. And here we go, our first battle of the top 16, James Dean, Daiichiro Yoshihara. James Dean leaves out of the start chicane. James Dean initiates. Yoshihara slowly kind of rolling into it, not an aggressive or nasty flick. Looks like he's tiptoeing to the side of James Dean, that Wordhouse Drift Team S15. Now working it into that first front clip, boom, right past it, no problem for the Falcon Tire shrouded vehicles of Dean and Yoshihara. Into that second outer zone, Yoshihara, nice job there, great chase execution by Yoshihara. This is where the smoke signal really comes into play in that transition. Some of the banter here on hashtag FD Canada, it's pretty comical. Here we go. Yoshihara, James Dean. Is James Dean going to get taken down? Yoshihara, turn 14. Distribution, Dean. So you can see him. He does have the proximity, but he is exceeding the nose of Yoshihara. I'd like to see him drop back just a little bit, and he does just that there. Now look at this transition. Nice job by Yoshihara. Nose is in. Gets out to that touch and go. Great execution. Out to the second outer zone. James Dean. He is in the mix. The machine. Does he have a flaw? Can he make a mistake? Great execution there. And now crossing the finish line, Ryan. That's a one more time from Andy, Brian, and Ryan say. Brian says James Dean. Ryan, James Dean gets the victory. And competing in FD since 05, so just 1 year shy of since day one, since year one. But remember vividly. It was just yesterday. Remember 12 years ago, Robin Ishida, open-faced helmet. Showed up in his Team Orange S13 with the truck bed back end, the Sil Camino. This is a good opportunity for him to really test the limits and parameters of this GTR, because I mean it just got debuted. I think round 2, was it even round 3?
Well, it's also a good opportunity to
round 3
test the track conditions, you know.
Winning the Super 3 competition. Ryan Lantain, one of our judges, was out there as well. Super 3 competition, where it's basically a tandem 3 triple drift competition. So right now, Frederick Osmo throws it in. Nate Hamilton in tow. Osmo not getting all the way out to the outer zone, but slowly works it in. You know, doesn't have the much of the bumper hang on the back as Hamilton centers that Black Magic Intense front clip. Keeping a consistent distance between Osbo and Hamilton. I'd like to see Hamilton a little bit closer. Now he lunges forward, takes out all the front clips, and here we go. Hamilton out front. Looks like we got a clean start. And here we go, the second half of this battle. Hamilton, good initiation, good angle. Can he work it out to the outer zone? Pours some more angle on it. Osbo gets into formation. Lot cleaner transition for Hamilton. Osbo actually deeper, entering that second outer zone. Hamilton getting nastier with it, but Osbo cannot be shaken. Around the final clip goes Hamilton and Osbo. Slide him left for Hamilton and right for Frederick Osbo. Gets the victory. A lot of chatter online. Keep going. Here we go. Chelsea Denofa out front. Landerville giving chase. Denofa initiates. Whoa, look at him digging deep and digging way too hard into the wall. Sparks fly. Denofa gets eaten by the wall. That was a ton of fireworks. Not the kind you're looking for as Landerville. This is Mark Landerville. So Mark Landerville on the second portion of this battle. And Landerville will get the victory. He went against, who did he go against? Denofa. So Denofa unable to run. This is Mark Landerville because of Denofa crashing out and unable to fix his car within that 5 minutes. That means Mark Landerville, the only Canadian in competition, will advance on to the Grade 8. Ryan, who do you think is going to come out on top?
I think it's going to be one of the drifters for sure.
Christoph Blusch, the Mass Motorsports V8 under the hood, throws it in. Matt Kaufman back there a little bit of distance. He's giving him too much, and look at that. He's gaining some more ground on him. Christoph transition, big smoke cloud coming off of the BMW, courtesy of some Achilles radials. The Nexen tires gripping up now, gaining up to the door of the BMW, slowly teeter-tottering that Black Magic Intense flipping point. Yet to get that win. Always a bridesmaid, never a bride. Will he find himself engaged like the girl earlier? Wow, look at that. Oh boy, you say. That definitely warrants that. Christoph's dancing with the villain right now. These guys too, it's like the battle of the villains. Oh boy is right. These guys, all sorts of oh boys thrown around. Kaufman into that outer zone. Christoph's lunging forward. Jeez. Getting into his business. Oh, what is that? As we see the headlights illuminate the smoke. Are you kidding me? Make some noise. And he says Blusch. Brian and Ryan says one more time, and Brian says Christoph Blusch is not all the way set, but the lights are on. And here we go. Watching all the way from Ireland, cheering him on. Chris Turley, how we doing? All right, so Matt Field, Dean Carney. Oh, look at Dean. As Field throwing down a cloud of smoke. Nice job. Transition, big angle there. Dean gets in the back. Oh my goodness, that was a hard hit. With Field out front, and now Dean's out front. We got one headlight between the two cars. The lights are on here at St. Eustache. Look at this thing. This is like missile cars. 1,000 horsepower missile cars coming into that outer zone. Everybody very timid of that outer zone. So Dean now transitions where the incident happened for these two gentlemen. As Field, you can see him lifting up, thrashing on it.
I think Field's going to make it.
I think Field could power through.
One more turn for Field.
One more turn for Field, and he is going to advance on into the Grade 8. Carney and Field slide him left for Carney and right for Matt Field. So Vaughn Gittin Jr., Justin Pollock. Justin Pollock will lead. Vaughn Gittin Jr. will give chase. Two very aggressive drivers, know how they go against each other. Let's see what they throw down. Justin Pollock initiates. Vaughn Gittin Jr. in the chase position. Throwing it on the door. These guys, mano-a-mano. It's a Mustang battle right now. Justin Pollock into that second outer zone. Vaughn Gittin Jr. gaining proximity now, throwing some more angle at it, taking out that Black Magic Intense front clip around the final clip. The Roush Performance Ford Mustang on Falcon tires of JTP, Justin Pollock. Here we go. Vaughn Gittin Jr. initiates. Justin Pollock trying to gain some ground. Vaughn not getting all the way out there, trying to work it towards the wall. Now he does. You can see the reflection, an indicator of how close he is to the wall. Justin Pollock, look at that, aggressively chasing down the three-wheel motion of Vaughn Gittin Jr. Into that second front clip. Go both the ponies. Vaughn, massive angle. Pollock now throwing some on. Look at the cloud of smoke. Nuclear. All right, slide him left for Vaughn Gittin Jr., right for Justin Pollock, and Vaughn Gittin Jr. gets the victory of the Gum Out Nameless Performance Hankook Tires and the Boost Brigade head captain here in the Gretty Performance Nexen Tire GT86 of Ken Gushi. Here we go. Ryan Turk initiates. Two very similar setups. Oh, and Turk into the wall. Gushi, are you kidding me? In between Turk and Gush, neither of them were able to fix their vehicles in a lot of time. So that means Ken Gushi would receive the points advancing to the grade 8, but not able to compete and run in the 8 to advance onto the 4. So basically, Vaughn Gittin Jr. will advance to the Final Four. He already has 2 victories in Long Beach and Atlanta. Here we go, Rob Nishida chasing him down. James Dean initiates. Everybody kind of timid of that wall. And there goes James Dean. Big angle, nice job from Dean. Robin Nishida brings it on home. The liner portion of the outside clipping zone. And Dean out to the outside zone. Look at the lights, the light wave filling the St. Eustache audience. And around that final clip goes James Dean, points leader, James Dean. Nishida out of the gate. Here comes James Dean in tow, initiating almost identical time. And there goes James Dean. You seen that left foot tapping the brake. That front brake light illuminated almost entirely through that outside zone, transitioning into the second outer zone. Goes Nishida. Nice job by Nishida. The fans lighten up the stands and the drivers lighten up the track. Here we go around that final clip. Nishida, slide him left for Nishida or right for James Dean, gets the victory unanimously. Hammer out front, Mark Landerville will be in the rearview mirror of the Toyota Corolla IM. Here comes Osbo. Osbo initiates aggressively. The hot hatchback, Landerville, look at that, now turning it up. This is the Landerville we've known, but now look, Osbo pulling away. Wow, flying through the course. Frederick Osbo doesn't seem like he's been watching the rest of the competition because he is just throwing caution to the wind, or that Rockstar Energy drink, Toyota Corolla IM, but Landerville is right there as well. Norwegian Hammer, here we go. Through the start chicane, we have a clean start. The headlight is on of Landerville, throws it into the bank. Massage that works it out there, great smoke. Look at the angle from Landerville, cannot see Osbo. But he cuts through the smoke like a knife. Well executed, good composure there from Osbo. Landerville tucking into formation, not as much angle, but great proximity, nosing in. Transitioning through that final clip. Andy says one more time. Brian and Ryan, Brian says Osbo, and finally Ryan says Frederick Osbo gets the victory. All right, here we go. Christos Blush and that of Matt Field. Blush will lead. Blush initiates into that outer zone. And Matt Field, you can see again, we were talking about Blush really having that horsepower and pulling away. Fast through the course, quick transition, but Matt Field, he's hanging in there. Given the circumstances, not as much angle, but now still just fighting for it. Wow, look at that. Max angle. Fast pass from the 8 into the 4. And here we go. Matt Field throws it in. See it gripping up, staying away from the wall. See if he can gain some distance between him and the wall. Transitioning past that first front clip. Matt Field dancing, riding high. Christos Blush. Yeah, not bad for Matt Field at all. Doesn't look very affected, man. I mean, slide him left for Field, right for Christos, and Christos Blush. All right, so Von Gittin Jr.'s bye run. This is a good opportunity for him to test out his grip, check out his settings. Hammered down right now for Von Gittin Jr. As Von, look at that. Smoke trail through the entire course. Here we go. Dean out front, Osbo in chase. Through the start chicane goes James Dean. We got a clean start. The Wordhouse Drift Team, Falcon Tires S15. Out front, Osbo right there on the door of James Dean, the Machine. The Machine versus the Hammer. Coming into that first front clip, nice job. Just massaging it around. Now into that second outer zone. Boom, right on that front clip, just knocking it out. One more front clip away. Big, massive flick from both the drivers. Make some noise. Dean will be in the rearview mirror. Here we go. Osbo throws it in, nice job there. James Dean, wow, right there. Wheel to wheel. Mimicking the angle, great job there by Dean, but Osbo, solid transition, snappy from both the guys. James Dean falls back a little bit. Is there a chink in his armor? James Dean falling back, tucked into the smoke, and Osbo. Did James Dean just lose to Frederick Osbo? 1, 2, 3, it's unanimous.
Von Gittin Jr., not the way that you wanted to end your night. What happened?
Went out for my bye run, just drove it as hard as I could. We were testing the setup. Coming around the last clip, I saw some red on my dash, low oil pressure. Found out that the belt just blew off the oil pressure pump. So we are making the call. If we go and run it right now, 90% chance it's just gonna explode.
So with that, Von Gittin Jr. retires. Christoph Blush has a bye run. He will go to the finals against Osbo.
Frederick Osbo wins. It's either going to be, if he wins or not, it's either going to be a 20-point advancement or a 40-point advancement over Dean where he finishes. So that's going to close the gap. Dean will still be sitting in first place, and Osbo will be in the hunt, absolutely sure. Right. We've got Ryan Turk that was still in competition until the grade 8. Odie Bachus went out late, so it looks like the championship is going to be a Frederick Osbo, James Dean hunt. Christoph Blush and his first in FD history.
Here we go, let's send it. This is Christoph Blush, Frederick Osbo, the finals here, round 5 at St. Eustache. Christoph initiates into that menacing wall that has consumed so many vehicles, so many parts. They navigate past it, no problem. Blush throws on some more angle. Osbo now tracking down. Blush really sticking it to the wall. Massive angle from the Latvian driver. Now Frederick Osbo bringing in that second outer zone and into the back of the BMW. Nice job by Christoph Blush, keeping the composure as Frederick Osbo now navigates fast. Oh! Contact from Osbo and Blush, but it looked like Blush had a correction there. Here we go, let's send it here. This is potentially the final battle. Osbo, Blush, round 5, Montreal, true north as Christoph goes into the wheel of Blush, pushing him around. He knows he needs to throw it down, but the hammer bites back. Past that first front clip, Christoph explodes it, centering it. Oh, and Blush goes into the side of Osbo as he pushes his way through, and I believe we know who's at fault.
Now, without further ado, your winner here at St. Eustache, True North, round 5 of the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship, presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. And it's Frederick Osbo, the Norwegian Hammer, part of the Rockstar Energy Drink. Toyota Racing, Toyota.
So Frederick Osbo makes some history here. He is now the first ever driver to win 10 events in his career.